No one ever chooses to go through a chronic illness.
Like $20,000 if I go through with this treatment.
His body's just not working properly.
Brain, cervical spine, neck, there's just 3 things they want to do.
It's just been really hard.
Injections in the neck, it's like 30 to 40 injections. I tried everything to fucking heal it, between nutrition, diet, antibiotics, all these things, and nothing worked. Alright, this is the beginning of the video. I don't even know, like, this isn't planned, so I don't know where it's gonna go, but it's mainly an update because I haven't posted in a while, and some of you guys know because I've mentioned it in other videos that I've been going through a lot of health issues and stuff, and we're pushing like 9 months, maybe 10 at this point, like 9 to 10 months. Started back in May of 2022. And the only reason why I'm doing this, like, if you enjoy my content, the channel, the brand, everything I've done, then consider watching this because it's going to really update on what's going on, why there hasn't been a lot of content, and maybe there's people out there that can help me because I genuinely need to, like, help my body right now, and that's kind of what's going on. We have no clue what's going on, or at least I don't. Like, I've done so much tests recently. So to, like, I guess just nutshell the beginning of it, in May of 2022, I was having a lot of like digestive issues and stuff. And
like it started with just like simple, not simple, but just like uncomfortability and stuff. So he tried to change his diet.
I switched my diet.
Went to low FODMAP, like cutting out all pretty much processed for the most part, besides some like safe bars and everything. And eventually, it just kept getting worse.
Yeah, eventually I got tested for something. This is all new. Like, I literally learned as I went. There was something called SIBO, S-I-B-O.
Never heard about any of these things before.
Yeah, it stands for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. There's bacteria in your gut not supposed to be there, and it really just screws up your digestive system. And there's 2 variants of it, hydrogen and methane. And I had the methane version, which is even harder to treat. So, you know, just fast forward a little bit, there's these 2 very strong antibiotics that you go on that most people, you know, clears it up. So I did 2 weeks of that antibiotic, and I had a little bit of relief while I was on it, so I was kind of hopeful. But then right after, it kind of, symptoms all came back. Then I started working with multiple different gut specialists and practitioners and nutritionists and dietitians. And then I went on a 2-month antimicrobial, however you pronounce it, protocol. And I felt again a little bit of relief during the first couple of weeks, and then right back. I finished the 2 months of that, and now I'm like 2 weeks into just like the gut healing phase. And basically what I'm getting to is, you know, apparently it's not SIBO or this bacteria.
But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but he tested positive. So SIBO is something that you can test for. It's a breath test.
Yeah, it's a breath, yeah.
And he tested positive, but it just kept coming back worse after each time we've tried to address it with whatever it was, medicine, herbal, or any protocol.
Antibiotics, this, that, diet, like I went 0
bigger,
sugar.
Yeah, something bigger, we think, at this point, is causing it.
Yeah, and that's the whole point, is there's like an underlying cause, because if you've done the antibiotics, you've done the herbal, antimicrobials, you've done the diet changes, which at this point, just to break it down to you, like the past 4 days, in the morning, I have a shake. It ain't tasty. I used to have tasty shakes, and even my tasty shakes were extremely healthy, but my current nutritionist was like, no nut butters, no nut butter powder, and I was a huge fan of peanut butter, almond butter, all that stuff. Protein shakes, almond milk, all that. So my morning shake for the past God knows how long is kale, spinach, blueberries, pumpkin puree, hemp seeds, gum-free, almond milk, cinnamon, that's it, vanilla extract, and that's it. Like, you try that, probably don't taste good. I've been drinking it for so long that I'm okay. I can sip on it and enjoy it.
It's just to literally, you're eating things just to survive, pretty much.
And I've said this, I don't care about taste. I don't care about food. I wish food was the problem, because I would do
whatever.
Yes, I would eat the same damn thing every day if it gives my body the nutrition that it needs.
Someone said, don't have sugar, he quits sugar.
I cut sugar out that day.
Anything people tell him to do, he does with no problem. At this point, food is no longer a comfort food. It's no longer comfort or enjoyable food. Like, it to him, it's just trying to get a certain amount of calories in a day, you know.
So I don't keep losing weight, because when this happened
about
in
30
30
almost
to 40.
40 pounds.
I was 180 in May of 2022, and in 3 months I went into the 150s. I cracked into the 140s. After working with the dietitian, I went back into the 150s. It's because I've been trying to also work out and preserve whatever muscle mass I have left. But now I can't work out as much either, so it's getting a little bit more, even more debilitating because I can't even do that as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shake, and then the second meal is like my only real meal of the day, which is either chicken, beef, or salmon with a side of either like eggplant, carrots, or sweet potatoes and red peppers mixed
Mind
with
you, all of this
spinach
is cooked with
and kale.
just coconut oil.
It's just, yeah, there's no flavoring.
You put salt on it.
It's
That's
coconut
it.
oil.
There's no other flavoring.
It's coconut oil, ghee, butter. Ghee is like a healthy, clarified butter, and salt. And if I'm in the mood, I started to acquire a nice taste for like a curry powder or cumin or other things. But other than that, there's no, it's all plain cooked and just coconut oil.
And now for a long time, you were doing the shake in the morning and 2 meals
of that
like
same meal, like whatever I just mentioned, it would be
Mm-hmm.
that same meal twice a day. But night times are fucking ridiculous sometimes. She knows it because
It's the hardest thing to watch someone go through this, honestly, because I'm actually I'm very proud of you in the sense of I think a lot of people, this would have sent them spiraling down a really dark hole mentally and emotionally, and I know that it has been very tolling on you in those aspects. However, but when he feels the slightest version of decent, of okay, he works. He's trying to get work done. He's gotten really into this hobby that he's been doing with guitars and modifying guitars and stuff, just to keep him active. And I think that's amazing because I don't know if this happened to me. He has very strong willpower and motivation, and this is just imagine your entire life being like pulled back and just every pleasurable part of your life has been taken away. He can't go out. He can't go see people. He can't, like I've gone to see my family in New York, and he can't come because he has to eat certain things at certain times. And
medication, like every hour, there's different types of medication. This you can't take with food. This an hour away from other medicine. This an hour away. There's all these things, and just there's a lot of people locally, and even friends online. Only a few people kind of knew what was going on, and whenever I talk to them about it, they're like, I would have never guessed this watching your YouTube videos. And it's basically because why do I want people seeing me at my worst or seeing me when I'm not doing well? I wouldn't want people, I guess I just don't want to present that side of me, but it's getting to the point where I feel like I need to let people know what's going on. Because before it was like, oh, I feel good, I'm gonna go out, record a video and edit it and blah blah blah. But that's like this much out of a day like this that I'm actually feeling good, and that's when I go and do that. People didn't know that the other 90% I was living through hell, and it's what's currently been going on, and it sucks. And that's why I kind of felt like it was time to do this.
He hasn't been like, we really thought this was all food, which it somewhat is food related, but he would have the same set of meals. Yeah.
Keep
He would have the same set of meals, and then recently, this past week, and you would think at this point, 8 months in, and all the herbal and protocols and everything that he's been trying to heal his body, it would get somewhat better. But in the past week, he has had some of the worst nights in the entire 8 months, to the point where I can see it. I've seen him in a lot of pain. I've seen him, and I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable, but to the point where he is in the fetal position with a heating pad. We're debating going to the hospital, but like, what is the hospital really going to do at this point?
There's been times where like I woke up and you're like, did you have a nightmare last night? And I'm like, no, that was my body flinching in pain because my insides spasm. My insides literally spasm and cause my like fucking body to flinch in pain.
But his body's just not working properly. It's not digesting, and like I think everyone, including myself, including him, before we did this, like, we didn't know that having a digestive system that works properly is the most important thing in the world. Like, you have to eat. It's not like you can just not eat and go on. You have to eat. Even if you're eating like he's been doing for the past 8 months, cleanest food, this, that, and the third, everything everyone told.
I tried something new, like a lot of
so
folks
it's got,
not
yes,
know what this
I was going to lead into that. The last week, it was
so
some
bad.
of the nights were so bad where he's just like, I just can't take it. And he bought this thing called the Elemental Diet. It's like a powder.
Yeah, I'll explain it.
You explain it.
It's called the Elemental Diet, and some folks literally do it for 2 weeks straight, where this is all they drink. It's a powdered substance of pre-digested nutrients.
That's
people
the
say
key part.
it tastes pre-digested, so it skips, again, I don't know the entire scientific part of it, but it basically skips part of the digestive tract, and it gives your gut a rest, but you get the nutrients. People say it doesn't taste that good. Honestly, I tried the chocolate one, and I thought it tasted great.
I took a sip. It was decent. I think you said that they revamped the
so
flavor.
The past 4 days I've done that morning shake that I mentioned, because that's all I've had for God knows how many months now. My second meal is my only like wholesome meal that actually is like really tasty, and then at night my last, it's just a shake. It's that chocolate powder with MCT oil, which I also put that in the morning for extra calories and collagen and other things, but it's just the Elemental. It's like 300 calories, and it's got some protein, and it is what it is, but it's just, I just drink a shit ton of water.
It's given him some relief in the evening. Not even perfect, because last night you were not good.
Too. Yeah, I was
which is so, that's the most absurd thing, is that we're doing these things, or he's doing these things, and I'm watching him do everything so strict, by the book, not changing a thing, and last night was bad. Like,
and that's how we know it's not. That's how we know it's not food, because it could be the same. I could eat the same meal, the same thing for 7 days straight. I might have 2 days where I'm decent. I've never had a good day in like 9 months. 2 days are decent, and 5 are terrible. So we know it's not food. So then my practitioner I've been working with, because the normal GI docs, unfortunately, they're like clueless about this.
Oh, mind you, this whole 8 months we've been to several doctors, several specialists. Yeah. I mean, multiple GI doctors, went through many nutritionists, and I mean, half of this shit's not even covered under insurance.
It's very expensive, and that's why the case swap is probably not going to get done. I've been talking with Donnie. I can't make it out there because it's a good half an hour drive, and the way my body's been, sometimes I can't even head out to there. But I'm going to have to sell the case swap. I'm going to get more into that, because I might have to travel to Florida now, because there's so many new things that are happening.
So do you want to go into...
I was going to say something, but you cut me off. I forget.
Sorry.
I'm trying to think what it was. So I was talking with my practitioner, and she brought up something called the vagal nerve, or vagus nerve. There's a few ways I guess pronounce it. The vagal nerve. It's one of your longest running cranial nerves. It's like a wandering vein. It goes through everything from your heart, liver, kidneys, digestive system. It like has.
Nerve.
Yeah, did I say vein?
Vein, yeah.
Okay, nerve I meant. Wandering nerve that like has a huge impact on the functions of a lot of parts of your body, including your digestive system. And we started watching this one doctor in Florida who connected people who have digestive issues and other issues with vagal nerve damage in the neck. And to figure that out, you do something, or one step of it at least, is called the digital motion X-ray. So I recently...
Which was super hard to find, by the way.
Oh my God, yeah, finding
everything that we've been trying to do is so hard to find.
I called
nobody
like 10
knows
places,
what the hell we're talking
and they're all
about.
like, yeah, we do X-rays. I'm like, but do you do a digital motion? They're like, hold on. They come back, they're like, no, we don't do that. But anyway, I found a place, semi-local, that did it. And I got the results back, and it's actually really surprising. Again, to me, like, I don't understand it. I just read the front page, and it just says, like, my neck's all screwed up, like,
pretty
lack
much,
of better,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know the scientific, terminology and stuff. But it's basically from, like, 3 people that I've spoken with. They see these results, and they're like, oh, my God, like, you sure you haven't been in, like, a really bad accident? Like, it's showing, like, whiplash injury, all these different things. And now I really hope it's a good and bad. It's kind of like, I hope it's this, because then we can try and heal it. But I'm losing hope, because it was like, oh, it's SIBO, we can heal it. I tried everything to fucking heal it, between nutrition, diet, antibiotics, all these things, and nothing worked. I'm trying to stay positive. I've been, as positive as I can be, and basically it's called cervical instability in the neck, which puts pressure on the vagal nerve, which can screw up a lot of different things. Like, I've been prone to a lot of dizzy spells and shallow breathing. There's been a lot of other things that's been going on top of that.
And mainly the vagal nerve is what tells your digestive system to work.
Turn on.
So this makes complete sense that no matter what he's doing, eating, supplements, medicine, nothing is working because there's a larger issue that is causing this.
And there's other crazy things that have been happening recently that, like, I just don't...
Every week it's something
that I just don't understand. Like, I'm just going to park right here. This will probably be better lighting. Like she was mentioning before, I can't go out. I can't do the things I want to do. Like, the folks who recently placed orders, I'm sorry some of the stuff was delayed in getting shipped, but I'm doing everything I can to, the website's still open. I think I've been on Instagram like once this year in January. I posted, and if you guys know, I used to love creating content, videos, photos, photography. I just can't go out and do those things. And the worst part to me, the hardest part, was coming to terms that I need to put this whole thing on pause. Because I'm like very driven and I hate not getting stuff done. And she was like she kept telling me, like, you gotta stop worrying about this and getting angry at yourself for not getting stuff done, because you need to focus on your health. And I know this firsthand from stuff I've been through in the past. Like, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. But it was still very mentally challenging to get over that fact of, like, I need to put everything I've grown and trying to do on pause. I keep staring at the fucking phone instead of the camera. I just noticed that. I gotta start staring at the camera. Alright, I've been staring at my phone. I gotta start staring at the camera. So yeah, half this video I've been staring at the wrong thing. But yeah, that was the hardest part, was coming to terms that I need to put everything that I've grown and built on pause and focus on my health. And that kind of happened unintentionally over the course.
Yeah, slowly but surely, because for the past few months,
it's like less and less I can do, and that kind of happened. So I've been trying to take on some other hobbies. Like, I love music, I love guitar. I'll never like took lessons. I'm good at it, but I still love it. So I'm getting back into it, and this is where, like, my body's like, fuck you. The world is like slapping me again, because out of nowhere, like 3 weeks ago, my pinky and my right hand, it's always my right hand, got extremely swollen and red by this knuckle, like the one by the nail. And I don't know what the hell it was. I'm thinking, like, great, like arthritis symptoms or something. That's all that came in mind.
The first one you really didn't think anything of. You're like, okay, just a little whatever.
And then a week later, the index finger on the same hand got the same exact thing. And then a week later, my fucking thumb. But the thumb was the worst. I could not bend it.
You literally went to the hospital at 11 o'clock at night.
I was there till 2:30 in the morning. The only reason why I went is because I had an infection on a finger years ago. And that's what that felt like. When these two did it, I was like, whatever. It was a pain in the ass. It hurt. If this was the same, I would have been like, whatever again. But it was to the point where it was throbbing without moving. And it was growing by the hour.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of when I had the infection. They said, like, under my nail or some shit years ago. I went. They're like, no. It looks fine. They just gave me anti-inflammatories or whatever. And then I saw another doctor like 3 days ago, which I thought was a rheumatologist or whatever for arthritis. Apparently he was more of like an orthopedic surgeon type of guy. They did x-rays on both my hands. They're like, you look totally fine. You don't have any arthritic symptoms. I don't know, there's like the rheuma whatever arthritis and the osteo something arthritis. He's like, you don't have any of that. But you could have inflammatory arthritis where your body it's getting inflamed through something. So he's like, you need to go see a rheumatologist so they can give you the proper blood work paneling to get done to do the blood work for inflammatory markers. Because then it was this finger, then it was this finger, then it was this finger. And then it went back to the pinky. Like, even today, I probably can't see it on camera too good, but this right one is red and swollen compared to this one. It's not super painful. The thumb just hurts if I move.
All of this is just not normal.
Yeah, I just don't know what the hell is
34 years old.
on.
You've been, for the past at least 5-6 years, relatively very healthy into health and fitness. And literally now all of this with your body, you're digested, and now like random things, like you said, like the joints, like this could all be what I'm thinking, honestly, is it's all connected to this vagal nerve issue. But it's just been really hard, watching this happen. Whenever, and that's what I would always tell him when he gets really frustrated about this, and you can't do this. I can't get, I need to get work done. Yeah, and I'm just like, listen, and I've since this all started, I'm just like, no one, and we knew it was serious, like probably 3 months in, like no one ever chooses to go through a chronic illness or anything about, no one. It's never good timing, He's
that's
like,
what she kept
but
saying,
I just got my thing. Everything's going so great, and I'm trying to build and da-da-da. But yeah, and I've started to see it too over the past month or so, or at least maybe month or two. He's stopped with saying that so much. Actually, probably just a month. I think you recently came to the realization.
Like I said, I didn't want it, but it just happened. Like you see, less posting on YouTube, less posting on Instagram, less content, because I can't get the work done that I want to do. I'm still trying to dial in the tune on the 2 turbos, but I haven't even reached out to Euro Compulsion. I'm waiting on them, but I still haven't even pushed them because I haven't felt great. I can't do a lot of that.
The doctors, like, we finally, because so when he was diagnosed with SIBO, it was like, okay, we're going to address it, and we did, but most of the doctors were kind of like, I don't know, whatever, and the only one that could help us was a nutritionist. Now, I think in the past 2 months, we've dialed in more on the bigger issue that could be causing all of this, and we've spoken to
I had,
so many other doctors and specialists.
I had 4 appointments yesterday. That's how crazy this is getting, where I have 3 to 4 appointments a day with different doctors. I had an appointment with a doctor in Connecticut who's going to set up an MRI that I got to travel to Long Island to do what's called a stand-up MRI, FONAR, F-O-N-A-R, of the brain, cervical spine, neck. There's 3 things they want to do. And then there's a place in Florida, which I really don't want it to get to this because it's going to be a very, very expensive adventure. I'm talking like that's why the K-swap, I gotta sell the engine, all this stuff, because it's gonna be upwards of like $20,000 if I go through with this treatment, which is basically, I've already been on calls with them, and they said they accepted me. I'm a candidate, as they call it.
They approved your case.
And it's just setting it up now, but it's called Prolotherapy, and I would have to travel out to Florida and fly out every month and get injections in the neck. It's like 30 to 40 injections. And then fly back, and again, I'm hoping that fixes it, but it's costly, it's stressful, what I hate is that I've done fucking everything and have not found relief yet, and that's what's really fucking with me in my mind. Right. It's that, like, how the hell can I will do, and I have done everything, but nothing is getting fixed.
Right, but this was all related to SIBO and digestive stuff. So I know that you are, and with the doctors that you spoke to yesterday, they want you to do everything before you go. Anything that we may have not done because the likelihood of everything coming up normal, whatever. We're gonna do all of that before we go. However, I hope we can get everything done within a week or 2 weeks maybe.
It's just seeing all these doctors' blood work.
I know that you are discouraged and not too optimistic about this thing. But the way I look at it is, you're living through it, and I can't imagine. Like, he explains what's going on, and I can't, because I've never felt like that. However, I see you going through this, being super strong, but it's just heartbreaking. So I want to get on the fucking plane tomorrow and go, and I know that's not realistic.
If I knew it would fix,
but it's the chance that it might. But we're gonna do what we need to do in the next 2 weeks and do all the other stuff. But
yeah, basically before we go, it's going to Long Island to get the scans, probably going to Connecticut, getting them looked at, speaking with them, going to rheumatologist, getting blood work, seeing my anti-inflammatory, seeing if it's some sort of autoimmune thing, probably having to do other types of tests like endoscopy, colonoscopy, doing all that, and then after we have all those results, combined with all the other stuff I've already done, make the decision of having to really put pause on most even more.
At that point, I don't think it's a decision. Well, it's not a decision. It's what we need to do to get your life back.
Well, again, that's why I said I need to do the test. The test results literally might be something else, and they might be easier to fix.
If it says something else, but if it's going towards what it's not going to be like, okay, well, you need to do this, but you got to decide to do it. No.
No, I'm saying once all the test results are back, then we could dial in if Florida makes sense. If that fucking $20,000 leap is gonna actually help, or maybe something else pops up. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's been 9 months, and it's been like this because I always feel a little better earlier in the day. Like right now, it's the afternoon. It's 2:40. I'm gonna go home and eat my second meal, my only real meal, so to say, besides liquid shakes. And after that, you know, things usually go downhill, and it really fucking sucks. But I just kind of wanted to make this video to share what's going on, because it just really sucks. I loved being active. You know, it was the content. I enjoyed making it.
Temporary. You got to remember that. You know,
I guess.
Like, it is temporary. You got to. We're gonna get your life back. We got to get.
I know. It's just
healthy.
after saying that for 9 months, it's hard to, like, you know, to see it, even though I'm very motivated and positive still, because I have way too many goals and way too many visions still to complete, to like have this take me down. So I'm trying to still be very positive, but I'll be lying if I said like there aren't days that like I just feel like both mentally drained. Because the physical part, everyone's like, you got to stay positive, and I'm like, when your body's literally putting you through pain for 5 hours in a row before bed, and you're like in constant agony trying to pass out because you just don't want to be awake because you're in so much pain, like you can't just mentally be like, oh, okay, it's fine. Like, no, because you're literally flinching in pain. Your body's fucking with you so bad. You can't do that. And I'm trying to, but there are those moments where, and she knows, like, I'm just, you can't. I don't care what people say. Like, there's a limit to what people can take.
He's doing it when, you know, in the mornings and the afternoons. And even as much as he can, he is being, you know, motivated and pushing through everything and trying to be optimistic and shit. But when it hits him and, you know, he's in that crippling, debilitating pain, you can't, you know, mentally talk yourself out of that. Like, he's just trying to, like he said, go to sleep so he can wake up and feel a little bit better. Yeah, and even like I haven't been able to work out as much, but I still try. Like she says, when I'm feeling good, I'll try. Like, instead of going to the gym and doing a full workout, like I'll just go in the office and do 100 push-ups. And honestly, that's why he doesn't look.
And I'll like try and do those little things to be active and to just be motivated.
If he didn't do that, he would literally look super frail and sick.
Probably.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The other night, like, I touched his leg and I was just like, holy shit. Like, he is thin. He's very, very thin, obviously, from losing all that weight. However, it's not that noticeable when you see him because, like he said, usually at least every day, every other day, he does some type of muscle group just to
try. It's not as much as I would like to.
Recently, it's been a little bit harder, I think, but you know, that kept you looking not like super sick. You know?
Yeah. And luckily, and with the new nutrition, it's like I am able to up my calories, but there are days where before I got the Elemental Heal diet, shake, so to say, instead I would skip dinner. And there would be days, the reason why I dropped so much weight is because I would literally barely crack 1,000 calories a day sometimes. I was scared to eat. I wouldn't eat. And it's not because I wasn't hungry. It's not because I didn't have an appetite.
He was hungry.
I am. Right now I'm fucking starving. I'm just waiting a little bit because I need to wait a certain amount of hours in between when I can eat and medication and all that crap. But I always have an appetite. It's not my appetite's not there. I'm not eating because I'm scared to fucking eat, because I know what my body is going to put me through later, and that's why I'm not eating. And that wasn't good, and that's what made me lose so much weight. But I try to also work out in the mornings to try and keep the overall weight there. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think this kind of covers most of what's been going on.
You know, you wanted to make this just to kind of fill people in, and, you know.
Yeah, I've said in the other videos.
Unfortunately, he really wants to. I know he does, and he did, and make content, but it's just, it's to a point where I think you're accepting that right now your number one priority, my number one priority, is your health.
Yeah, I kind of have to just put a lot of things on pause.
Just on pause, temporarily.
I'll try maybe posting something. Who knows? Maybe I'll throw some fucking guitar things on this channel to keep things going. I've always wanted to keep this automotive, car related. So even when I brought up in the past that I was going through stuff, it was like very vague, very little. Like I might have said it for a few minutes, but I felt like it was time to make a video dedicated to this so people kind of understand why there's been some slacking and stuff, and why, because there's a lot of people waiting for the turbos, waiting for the tunes that I've been working on. It's not just like content and like the entertainment aspect of it that some folks enjoy watching it. It's also like I am trying to help the community. I'm trying to like bring you stuff to the community and the Fiat Abarth community with turbos and tunes and power, always pushing my cars. I just got the Evo that I'm looking to push, but now it's like I got wheels and tires delivered at Donnie's shop like 2 weeks ago for the Evo. I want to put them on. Evo probably don't even start. I got to go towns over to get E85, fill it up. It's like there's just so much that I can't do right now. So basically, you know, if there's a little delay in website orders, I apologize. I'm still trying to get those out. Usually they're out very quickly. Again, the folks who know, they know my customer service is, and I'm not saying this to brag, but honestly, like I'll take a hit on money 24/7 to make sure the customer's happy. That's how I've always been. So hopefully, you know, I'll get through this in due time. And I don't know, like making this video makes me motivated to create more content, but I'm not in control of how I feel my body, you know what I'm saying? So if I feel good, like I would love to go out, create content, do photography, videography, all that stuff, get the tunes dialed in, all that. And hopefully I can. And depending on the journey,
if we do end up taking the plunge going to the specialist in Florida, we have seen some stories of people that have done this therapy, and some of the people, from what I've seen, they said after the first session they feel relief, which would be great, because then you just have to go once a month. We would go once a month.
Yeah, and it's just super hard living like
hopefully.
This. But hey, if we do go, we'll bring the GoPros. We'll rent some cool cars and do some automotive content in Florida and here and there. And if we travel to Connecticut and Long Island, I'll have to find a car. One of my cars that are. None of my cars are that stable.
Let's just take my car.
Yeah, I guess, because I would love to take one of mine, but like none of them are like the long distance driving stable vehicles. Like this is the most right now, the 500. The 124 is like boost dumping out the ass. The Evo's got E85 and rough idle. I don't know. I should just get a license plate called rough idle for all my cars, because all my cars have rough idle, which is surprising because right now this one's pretty smooth. But I think this is long enough. Is there anything in this that I should talk about? I don't know. It's kind of covers it.
You know, this is the first time we've both ever gone through anything like this. Like this, obviously we've had sicknesses and stuff. Nothing like it's a severe condition.
It's debilitating.
And it's
really messed up.
It affects him. Obviously, it affects me. It's spilling into my life and work, and it's just I don't know. It's almost like dealing with someone with cancer, and I'm not saying this is comparable. I'm just saying
people online have said that
literally
who have SIBO, because people don't understand. A lot of folks look and go, "Oh, you have a stomach ache?" Like, no, it ain't that.
No,
it ain't that. I keep looking at this again. It ain't that. Like, it's really freaking debilitating. Like when people don't have SIBO, they're like, "Oh, I'm in remission." Like, I'm not saying that. I have close family who have had cancer. And I'm not comparing it to that because I don't know what that is.
But that's the most life-impacting thing, and this has literally turned our worlds upside down, totally.
Just still don't know what it is.
You know,
my
we think it's something. We're not guaranteed yet.
The MRI, the whatever is. Everyone's telling me like, "Oh my God, this, that." Like,
I know. I heard that he recorded the call, and she was like looking through it, and oh my God, like. Are you sure you haven't been in an accident? Like, what?
Yeah, like the C2, 3, 4, and 5, I think it's those, are like all out of whack. There's a rotational percentage, and then there's like a millimeter thing. And there's like, reading the impressions, again, this is where I don't understand it. There's like ligament, this, that, there's sub-failure.
Pretty much the measurements are supposed to be under. They're supposed to be under 1 millimeter, and most of his are over 2.5, either high 1.8. So long story short, like we really don't. We've been learning as we go.
Talking with doctors and trying to figure it out.
This has been really.
It could be what they say is putting pressure on the nerve, and that nerve controls everything. It could be why sometimes I have that shallow breathing. It could be why my digestive system is messed up. Why I have those dizzy spells. It could all be because of that nerve not functioning properly due to the cervical instability, which, again, all new to me. I'm kind of like learning as I go. So with that said, if anyone watching this has any info, reach out to me. Or has
experienced anything like
let me know. Drop a comment, reach out to me personally on Instagram. I've done and tried like literally everything. I'm willing to try everything else that I have not tried yet or that I don't know about. But like I said, I'm learning all the fucking time. So by all means, reach out. This video, I want,
and please keep him in mind, and we'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah,
stronger than ever.
I'm gonna keep trying to, like I said,
things
create
are gonna be
content
slowed down for a while, just so he can get his health back.
I might have like shorter videos, not as in-depth stuff, and just the website.
On days where you feel good, if it's nice out, we can do some more drive.
Yeah, as it starts warming up too, which is nice.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, by the way. New Jersey in February.
It's 52. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's gonna be 55, 60 next week.
Nice.
I ain't complaining.
All right, I'm gonna end this. Subscribe if you haven't. Drop a comment. Let me know if you have any insights on this. As always, you could check out drivendistrict.com for some parts and merch. It does help support the channel and could help support my expensive journey that may take place soon. So yeah, that's about it. I guess we'll see you guys in the next video.
See you guys on the next video.
Bye-bye.